topics are Archimedes principle and relative density. Okay, so that we will start today and that we will finish. After that, some of the numericals that I had given to you related to that, some of the points I will explain. I will not explain the whole question. I'll explain that point and you have to answer it by your own. Okay, so let's begin. The first one is Archimedes principle. Archimedes principle. So he thought that how the water is being dispersed, how the object is floating, how the object is sinking in the water. So once he was bathing in a bathtub, and he observed that as he is entered, as he has entered in the bathtub, the water is coming out. If he was entering, he was putting his one leg, then some of the level of the water was increased. Then as he put his second leg, the water was increased some more level. And after that, soon after, as he was totally immersed in the water, there was some of the water coming out of the bathtub. So what he found, first of all he shouted. He shouted very fast, and what the word he shouted, that is Eureka. Eureka. Shouted it twice or thrice. Eureka, Eureka, Eureka. What is the meaning of this Eureka? What is the meaning of this? अच्छा, जब हम लोग को कोई चीज मिल जाता है, if we are finding anything and whatever we are finding with too much time and we have got it, so what we say? चला था ना, हाँ मिल गया, करते हैं ना. जैसे लाइट, एक दिन से लाइट नहीं आ रही, लाइट इज नॉट कमिंग फ्रॉम अ कंटिन्यूअस 4 days, और ऑल ऑफ सडन लाइट आ गई, तो क्या करते हैं? लाइट आ गई, चिल्लाते हैं. सो दैट यूरेका, दैट मीन्स आई हैव गॉट इट. Eureka means I have got it. So as he found the principle, as he found the theory, as he found the concept, how to get the theory, he shouted Eureka, Eureka, Eureka. Means I have got it. So what he had got it, that we have to understand. Okay. So according to Archimedes principle, when the object is immersed in water, let's write. When the object is immersed partially or completely in water. When the object is immersed partially or completely in water, it will displace same amount of water as its immersed part. So this is the Archimedes principle. According to this, क्या लिख दिया, बहुत लंबा सा है, कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा, पता नहीं, इतनी लंबी कहानी, एक कहानी सुनाई और एक कहानी लिखी. What is that? Actually, there is simple meaning of that. If any object is immersed, either it is immersed half, full, or a little bit. So whatever the object is immersed, it will displace the same amount of water as it has immersed in the water. Like as if you have remember the story of a crow, thirsty crow, प्यासा कौवा. उस कहानी में क्या था? In that there was a crow that was thirsty. It was too much thirsty and it was not getting water. So what he observed an earthen pot filled with some amount of water, and he used an idea. He put some stones and kept it in the earthen pot. As it put some stones in the earthen pot, the level of the water rises. Why it has rises? क्या उसने पानी भर दिया क्या था? नहीं. Actually क्या हुआ? जब उसने पत्थर डाले, as he has put some stones, So what happened? Whatever the amount of stone was there, that much water has been risen. Like as suppose that, अब हम थोड़ा सा एडवांस आ जाते हैं. उस प्यासे कौवे ने घड़े में पत्थर डाला था, हम लोग बीकर पे डालते हैं, यहां तक पानी में. Okay, so what we will do, if we will put some stone like this, so its level will be increased, right or wrong? It will increase surely. If we will put more stones, then more level will be increased. If we are putting more again and again, if you are putting more stones, or if you are putting any object in this water, then what will happen? The level of water will be increased, and that was the principle given by Archimedes. So according to this, I'll simply write 3 to 4 words and you will get it what he was telling. According to Archimedes principle, buoyant force is equal. What is buoyant force? The force that exerts, that pushes an object in an upward direction. So buoyant force is equal to the amount of water displaced. Buoyant force is equal to the amount of water displaced by the object, and which is equal to the amount of object immersed. Amount of object immersed in liquid. Buoyant force is equal to the water displaced by the object, which is equal to the object immersed in the liquid. Whatever the amount of the object is immersed in the liquid, that much amount of water will be displaced. It would be displaced. If it is having a space, it will rise. If it is not having a space, it will come out of that, and that would be equal to the buoyant force. Okay, let's take an example. So when we are taking example, I am erasing this first. Just take a beaker with a funnel. There is a beaker having funnel. Okay, and the water is filled up to this level. This is the water filled in this. Okay, let's put another small beaker at the opening of this funnel. Okay, it is not having any amount of water. So when any object is dropped, there is a stone dropped into this water. So as the stone is dropped into this water, you will see the water is being risen. It will be rising, and because of rising, you can see it is having at the water. So what will happen? The water will come from this and it would be stored in this. So how much water will be stored in this jar? How much water will be stored in this small beaker? That would be equal to the amount of this stone immersed. जितना स्टोन उसमें पानी में डूबा है, उतनी अमाउंट का वाटर डिस्प्लेस होके इस बीकर में आके रुक जाएगा. ओके, दैट वाज द आर्किमिडीज प्रिंसिपल. जैसे स्विमिंग करने जाते हो, बहुत सारे लोग हैं. Suppose that you are having a group of 5 friends. So when you are having a group of 5 friends, 10 friends, so in that maybe only 4 to 5 of that are knowing how to swim. या चलो मान लेते हैं केवल 2 को स्विमिंग आती है, बाकी 8 को नहीं आती. अब सर इसमें आर्किमिडीज प्रिंसिपल का स्विमिंग से क्या मतलब है? सिंपल, जिसको स्विमिंग आती है, इफ यू हैव ऑब्जर्व दैट व्हाट ही डू, व्हाट द पर्सन does, actually he does that, he is displacing the water. If you have observed what they are doing, they are just putting their hands like this and they are displacing the water in front of them. So if they are able to displace the water as the comparison of their body weight, जितना उनकी बॉडी का वेट अगर उतना पानी उन्होंने डिस्प्लेस कर दिया, then they are able to swim. और अगर नहीं कर पाया तो क्या होता है, तो डूब जाते हो। जिसको स्विमिंग नहीं आती है, वाटर पार्क में गए होगे, इन वाटर पार्क यू माइट हैव ट्राइड टू स्विम, जब स्विमिंग का ट्राई किया होगा, देन व्हाट यू हैव डन, ट्राई किया होगा, दूसरों को देख के हाँ पानी हटाते हैं, चलो हटाते हैं अभी, और जैसे ही हटाने की कोशिश की तब नीचे पहुंच गए। जब तक पैर थे पानी में, लेवल तक थे, सरफेस तक थे, तब तक ठीक था। एंड एज यू ट्राई टू पुट योर लेग्स अप एंड डिस्प्लेस द वाटर, यू फॉल इन, not fall in, actually you sink. The reason behind that is because you are not able to displace the same amount of the water as the amount of your body. That is Archimedes principle. That is why our body float in water. Why any object will float or sink in water. Here I have given you example. One example I have told you early, that is for swimming. So because of both these cases, you can understand how the object is floating or how the object is sinking. After that, one more point is there, relative density. That relative density we have to understand on the basis of water. If we have to understand it on the basis of water, then we will get that which object will float or which object will sink into the water. Relative density is the density of the object in comparison to water. The density of water is 1 cubic centimeter cube. Or simply, first of all, what is density? What is density? Density is mass upon volume. So by using this we can find out the density of any object. Now in the relative density we have to find out the density of the object, density of object with respect to the density of water. Density of the object with respect to the density of water. So if the density of object, now focus here, if the density of object is greater than density of water, if the density of object is greater than the density of water, the object will sink. Object will sink. Okay? If the density of object is less than density of water, what will happen? Yes, you can guess. The object will float. चलो ये दो तो बता दिए, बहुत अच्छे, very good. Now the last one. If the density of the object is equal to the density of the water, what will happen? Object will, question mark. That you have to find and you have to tell me that what will happen to the object. It will sink, it will float, it will fly, it will die. What will happen, that you have to find. That is relative density. Okay, I was telling you density of water. So actually density of water is being taken in two medium. There are two scales for taking the density. One is CGS and another is MKS. CGS and MKS. What is CGS? CGS is centigram per second or MKS is meter kilogram second. So if it is asking the density of water in MKS, it is 1000 kilogram cube, meter cube. Okay? And if it is asking in CGS, that is 1 centimeter. Sorry, 1 gram centimeter cube. That is the density of water in both the scales, in CGS scale and in MKS scale. So with the help of this, you can find out the relative density of any object. Suppose that I am telling you about the oil, and the density of oil is 0.8. Suppose that the density of oil is 0.8 gram centimeter cube. So what will happen to that? It will sink or it will float. Actually, here you have seen the density of object is less than the density of the water, then object will float. So what happens here? Is it less or is it more? What is the density of water? 1 gram centimeter. So that means this is less than 1. So if it is less than 1, that means the object will directly, it will flow. Okay. So these are the topics that we have to study. We had to study. Now after this, our chapter is finished. Gravitation is completely over. After that, if you are having any doubt, you can ask it. Now there would be some doubt that I had asked some questions of numericals in that previous classes. So in that question, simple thing is that you have to use, put the value of mass as m and put the value of height as h. There are two heights given, h1 and h2. Simple, take the formula, use the formula that I have given you. I have told you in the classes, not in online classes. In offline classes, I have told you some formula that V is equal to U plus GT. Another, H is equal to UT plus half GT square. V square is equal to U square plus 2GH. So these are the formula that you had to use. Try it. One more thing, there is nothing, no numericals, no numbers that you can cut it or whatever you can do. So just put the formula, put the values in the formula and try to get the answer. Second thing, the gravitation of any object, the acceleration due to gravity on any object does not depend on the mass of the object. It depends on the mass of the surface through which the gravitational force is exerted. So the question that was asking, if the mass is heavier, both the objects are having different masses, which one will fall faster? There will be no change because of the mass. If distance is there, then it will be changed. So I have given you the hint. Just try to solve. If you are not getting it, then ask me again. Thank you.